Well, from mood swings to hot flashes, menopause can come with some pretty unpleasant symptoms, but it can also affect your heart health. A recent study shows a common condition could speed up that damage. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin takes a look at metabolic syndrome and how to fight it.
The thing about metabolic syndrome is it isn't just one thing. It's kind of this perfect storm of health issues, and when they all come together, they can do a number on your heart. And that's why Grady cardiologist Dr. Rachel Harris says you need to know whether you're at risk, because there's a lot you can do to reverse metabolic syndrome.
If you're a woman, you probably already know that menopause can affect your heart health. But Grady Memorial Hospital cardiologist Dr. Rachel Harris says you may not know about another risky condition known as metabolic syndrome.
It's a cluster of factors that increases your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. And the more risk factors that you have, the higher your risk for these diseases.
And Dr. Harris says there are 5 things that can raise your risk of metabolic syndrome: an increased waistline, jump in triglycerides, low HDL or good cholesterol, elevated blood sugar, and higher than normal blood pressure. And a recent study found that women at highest risk of metabolic syndrome aren't those going through menopause, but the women in the years leading up to menopause.
And in all women, their risk increased during this time frame, but in Black women, more specifically, their risk was higher.
So what can you do? The American Heart Association says step 1, get screened for metabolic syndrome, and then get regular checkups. The Heart Association recommends menopausal age women get a cholesterol screening every 5 years, blood pressure check every 2 years, and blood sugar test every 3 years. And if you're not exercising, start, because it can help you get to a healthier weight, a smaller waistline, and a better for you body mass index. The Heart Association recommends 150 minutes of moderate activity like walking or jogging a week, which is about 30 minutes a day most days. And Dr. Harris says rethink your eating, switching to a more plant-based diet with plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole grains. The idea, she says, is control what you can.
The American Heart Association says up to a third of U.S. adults may have metabolic syndrome, and it can happen in men and women. And oftentimes you may not have symptoms with many of these conditions. So that's why the Heart Association says it's important to get in and get checked and to know your risk factors. For the Fox Medical Team, I'm Beth Galvin.